Good morning, my friends. It's day 30 of my 30-day vlogging challenge. I'm at the end of it. Well, I'm both relieved and I guess a bit sad because as I mentioned several times before, I quite enjoy doing this. But that doesn't matter. The key point for today is to a so-called a roundup video so that we can compare the first day when I started to how I'm doing today so that I can see how much better I've been or in a sense how much worse I've been. Right? As I've shared also many times, there's no such thing as failure. As long as we learn from something, we have succeeded. I guess if I reflect back on my 30-day journey, there are three lessons I want to share. The first lesson is this. Often our fear is much greater than reality. What this means is that before I started, I had many thoughts about how difficult it will be, how ugly I will sound, how awkward I will look. But as I progressed and did the video, I realized after a while that actually it doesn't matter. We are often our worst critic. So my lesson point for you, number one, is this. Don't let your doubts stop you. It is much worse than reality. The second lesson I want to share is this. We need to keep failing forward. Success comes to those who try. And if we constantly don't do what we want or don't do new things, we'll be forever stuck where we are. So just yesterday, I was doing some sharing sessions with my colleagues, and I started with this quote. Insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. So if we want success, if we want something better, if we want to be different from what we were, we need to try and do something new. If we don't, we'll forever stagnate and be where we are. The third lesson I want to share is this. Right? We need to believe in ourselves. That is the most important thing. I also often share this quote. People fail not because they aimed high and missed. People fail because they aimed low and hit. So if we don't strive for more, we don't strive for the highest things that we can achieve, even though we succeed, right? Maybe we will not accomplish much because you didn't aim high. But if you aim high and you miss, doesn't matter, right? You probably stay where you are. But you aim high and you hit, it can be a life changer and game changer, and your life will be fundamentally different. So my friends, as I come to the end of this 30-day vlogging challenge, these are some of the lessons I've learned, and I hope and want to encourage you to try this challenge yourself. One of the side benefits that I've realized is this. I believe that my executive presence has improved. I realize that when I speak to my colleagues or when I speak to people or when I share my ideas during meetings, I believe I'm much better. I articulate my words, I am more deliberate in what I say, and I am able to influence them. So if you remember when I first started, I talked about many objectives, and one of the main objectives I talked about was improving my executive presence. To me, the number of likes, the number of views, number of shares are irrelevant. What matters is that I improve myself along the process. But the interesting thing was that along the way, one of my videos received 700 overviews. And that was something that was, I would say, amazing. It was flattering, and I'm hoping that I can replicate that. But of course, like I said, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that I try, and in a sense, I learn from it. And I think at the end of the day, I'm a much better person. So let's see how it goes. I will do a quick comparison between day 1 and day 30. Hopefully the difference in the way I speak comes across much clearly. Till then, my friends, believe in yourself, keep trying, and always keep learning.